I think I've been influenced photographically by not only different people, but different elements in photography. Light, color, gesture, moments, a graphic moment, a graphic element. And all of those things are things that I think are, part and parcel of what I do as a photographer. I think it's very much my style. Even though there's a tremendous amount of diversity in the imagery that I shoot, I think that there are certain elements that connect them, and hopefully it comes across that way as a personal vision. I've always thought that having some sort of a personal vision was more important than going out and trying to shoot flavor of the month. I've spent most of my time and career trying to have that style evolve. And I feel like I'm still working at it. I don't think you ever get to the point where, you've got it. If you do, then I think your work gets stale. I get asked what's my favorite photograph many times, and I always come back with the same answer. It's like, which is your favorite kid? It's hard. It's impossible. Because I think photographers get very caught up in not only the picture and the moment and taking of the picture, there's emotional ties to that image. From Japan, the ladies in the Japanese rice paddy from the rice planting festival in Kyoto, that's always been a very popular image and was an important image for me. Up to that point, I had been shooting on a tripod, almost like somebody would with a view camera. And one of the first things I began doing within that week was becoming a lot more free with not only the equipment, but the amount of equipment. Maybe one camera, two cameras, and two lenses, and concentrating more on seeing rather than on that big, shoulder bag that was on my shoulder and the weight of that pulling me down all the time. It freed me up. In a sense, that's what that photograph represents to me, is like almost freedom in a sense. It broke away from where I was prior to that and led me in a new direction photographically. It really, to me, doesn't make any difference whether you're recording on digital pixels or film or 10 types or whatever. It's about image making, and that, I think, is the most important thing. It's still about having a vision, and however you translate that through whatever means, that's what it's all about. Your job is to come back with images. No client wants to hear why you didn't get the photo. You owe it to the client to do it their way. You owe it to yourself to do it your way. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to like your way, and if they don't, then you'll be hitting the highway. So that's, I think that's kind of the game in a nutshell. I've always been proud of my association with Houston and with Texas. I think I've always had a sense of pride about place and where I've been from. And I think that place has a lot to do with me personally, not only as a photographer, but as a person. It's helped shape me. If I can do good work here, then so be it. I think all of us want to do the best work that we can do, and we'll go to wherever we have to go to do it. But the fact is, there are tremendous talent in this town, and I think anybody who's been here, in any length of time knows that. I've always felt very fortunate that I fell into this, and I did fall into it. This wasn't planned. This wasn't my, dream to become a photographer. But, I couldn't sculpt, and I couldn't paint, and I couldn't draw, and I couldn't sing or dance. So kind of process of elimination, if I was going to do anything creatively, it was photography. Plus the fact that, somebody was willing to pay me to go out and do this. Even better. Finding balance is the hardest thing in this profession. It's extremely difficult, but it doesn't happen without, in my case, my wife, Linda, and my kids, Dylan and Jessica. If it weren't for them, I could not have what I consider is everything. I feel so blessed and so fulfilled to have what I have in this life, to have had a profession that I love doing, that I've made a pretty good living at, with a lot of people that I enjoy working with, and yet I have this family, and life is good.